Hello, my speech will be about why I believe schools should provide free breakfast for students on a daily basis. Um, as far as providing food for students in school, it's usually mostly always just lunches. Some schools do provide both, but I feel that after the research I did, schools should always be providing breakfast as well. Families can be tight on budgets, therefore they can provide a nutritious breakfast for their children, which is why it's important for schools to do it themselves. And even if families can't afford a nutritious breakfast, often they have really busy lives and schedules. They have to get up early for work, and the students also have to get up early to go to school and catch the bus, and so they may not always have time to have breakfast at home, or at least a nutritious breakfast. They might just have to take something small to go. And then many have long commutes. Many students have long commutes to school, or long periods between having breakfast at home and then having lunch in school, which makes them hungry during the school day because they have to wait longer than usual between meals. And then there is, because of all these reasons, because students might not have time to have breakfast at home, I feel that schools should provide it for them. Eating breakfast at school supports health and learning for low-income children. School breakfast also increases their math and reading scores, as well as it helps them improve their speed and memory on cognitive tests. Research also shows that students who have breakfast in school instead of at home, or no breakfast at all, score higher on standardized testing. Compared to students that don't eat breakfast at all, or just have a small breakfast at home, students who are provided breakfast in school are less likely to be overweight. They have improved nutritious habits. They eat more fruits and they drink more milk, and they consume a variety of foods instead of eating more junk foods and being unhealthy. Students who are able to have breakfast in school have better eating habits most of the time. Children who skip breakfast typically must have misbehave more frequently than students who don't have breakfast at all, which could really benefit the schools also, so that less students are misbehaving. Healthy foods provide the brain the energy to learn new information and retain prior knowledge. Obviously, the breakfast served in the schools will be healthy, therefore they will be a benefit to the student. They also help increase student participation rates, which comes really handy when students are testing and just learning within the school. It helps them keep more knowledge and do better in tests. They will most likely have their homework done. And then as far as the breakfast being free, there are many provisions, and the federal government does help schools have the funds for students to be able to have free breakfast in school. There's a lot of federal funding for these schools to give free breakfast. There's Provision 2. Provision 2 is a federal school breakfast program option for schools to reduce the paperwork and simplify the logistics to operating school meal programs when they serve meals to all students at no charge to the student. I know, because most of the time right now, mostly all schools have to charge students for their lunch. they can get it reduced, or they have to pay full price, or they can get it for free if they qualify. It could be the same for breakfast. If they're not allowed to be free, at least they can be reduced. The state legislation provides special state funding for universal school breakfast programs at least in 9 states, and for our state, in the state of Illinois provides funding for a universal breakfast pilot program for schools with 80% or more free and reduced price eligible students. With that being said, if there are schools that have 80% or more of their students qualify for free or reduced price breakfast, they would allow the school enough funding to just give them free breakfast to the whole school. All in all, providing schools with free breakfast for their students would be a great benefit to the students, to the teachers, and just to help the overall image of the school. It helps the students concentrate, score better on their tests, and just be more active and healthy in school. They won't be hungry in the day if they skip lunch, or if they skip breakfast, or if they have to wait a long period of time between breakfast and lunch. Helps the teachers because students are better behaved, and students who have breakfast in school are most likely to be in extracurricular activities like in sports and clubs, because they feel more active and they have more energy to do so. So that would help the school and the teachers as well. It helps the schools out because of the increase in good behavior from the students. They'll have better grades, they'll be in more extracurriculars, helping the school. And even though many argue that the funding might not be there's many federal programs, like I said, that would help the funding of having free breakfast in school, which can, again, it will be a great benefit to the school overall, as well as give them a healthier image, which is something that the government has been trying to incorporate a lot in schools. The First Lady, Michelle Obama, has been involved in many programs to promote healthier lifestyles for students. She's done a lot of moves to take the junk food and fast food out of the school lunches and like vending machines, so that students are more motivated to eat healthier. Which again, it's a benefit to all. And so I strongly support schools providing free breakfast for students.